So Marwan Rahiki has just destroyed Gabriel Schlump on a beatdown promotions 11, and it was a very good performance, very wild performance. Came out swinging, going for that big KO. Showed good cardio given the pace he was fighting at this fight. But yeah, let's just go through the guy's resume before we break down the full fight. Now, amateur career, had a good amateur career. Only one lost one fight, and that was in Gamma, and it was against a Dagestani fighter called Ali Guendez. I believe this guy was Dagestani. When I spoke to Rahiki, I think he said the guy was Dagestani. I believe the guy was Dagestani. But then he beat some really good guys as the amateur scene, and then he destroyed a lot of good guys. Look at the guys he's fought on the Australian regional scene. 1-0 Julian Gustiano beat Ryan Dennis 2-1. Michael Manu 7-4. Barber 6-8, but that 6-8 doesn't tell the full story. Michael Barber's a really tough veteran guy, and he absolutely destroyed him. Then he beat Samakande Kakembo, and they beat Gabriel Schlump. But the thing that makes him really good is his style. Very good takedown defense. Marwan Rahiki has. He's a very young guy as well. Very powerful. He subbed Kakembo, who is a grappler. He dominated the whole fight against Kakembo, who is a very good guy whose losses have only been to guys who have been in the UFC or on the cusp of the UFC. Very good fighter there. And yeah, he destroyed him and subbed him and beat him at his own game. And against Schlump, what makes beating Gabriel Schlump so impressive is, not the fashion he did it, which was also very impressive. He went forward this fight, beat up to the body, landed big shot over after big shot. Got hit a few times, but has shown a very good chin, very fun, entertaining style. He got taken down in this fight, but he showed really good get-ups to get back to his feet. Wasn't held down for a significant amount of time. He hurt Schlump in both rounds. But the fact that makes this win so impressive, in my opinion, was a very big reason. It's somebody he beat that I think makes it very impressive. He beat Gene Silva. Schlump beat Gene Silva. That's right. He was the last person to beat Gene Silva. Now, I know this loss was 7 years ago, so you can't hold too much weight on it. Obviously, Gene Silva would have improved, but it's impressive regardless. The guy beat Gene Silva. Gene Silva is now killing it in the UFC. A lot of people are calling Gene Silva a future UFC champion. And Gabriel Schlump went in there and beat him. And now he's just been destroyed by Marwan Rahiki. Very impressive. It was a very impressive performance by Rahiki. He's a really good fighter. Trains out of a good gym as well. Lions Den Academy is a really good gym. There's a lot of good prospects coming out of that gym. George Mangos is obviously a main one who's fighting Radley De Silva on Dana White Contender Series. But there's a lot of other good prospects. Chris Utizjanovsky is a very good prospect. I'm sorry if I butchered his name. He has a TKO loss that he suffered, but he's a very skilled fighter. There's a lot of good fighters coming out of that gym, and these two are Marwan Rahiki and George Mangos are two of the best prospects coming out. Both featherweights, both leveling each other up with the grappling and the striking. Marwan Rahiki's got some amazing striking. He's Moroccan. He comes from a Moroccan background. Obviously Morocco's known for their kickboxers. Badahari being the main one, but there's many, many Moroccans that are very good at kickboxing. There's a big kickboxing culture over in Morocco. But Marwan Rahiki's showing he's got grappling, obviously, when he subs Kikembo. Got a hip toss on Gabriel Schlump in this fight. He's got takedowns, He's not just a one-dimensional fighter, but he goes in there, absolutely destroys Gabriel Schlump, ends up TKOing him on the ground with ground and pound. He used a lot of ground and pound in this fight, showing he is very well-rounded now. He's not just a kickboxer. Kickboxing is his main martial art, his main style, but he's showing he can win fights on the ground. He can win fights with the submissions, with the ground and pound. He's just proving that he's got many layers to his game. And, that's what you like to see from a young fighter, showing he's rapidly improving. And, I don't know, I think Dana White Contender Series is going to be next. He's 6-0 now. Maybe they can get him on week 10. Maybe he needs another win, I'm not sure. But if not, if he doesn't just get straight to UFC, he's just going to keep improving, and that's even more dangerous for these guys. But yeah, a very good prospect. But anyway, outside of that, let's talk about some of the other stuff that happened on this card. just to break down, beat down promotions 11. Got to shout out the Australian regional scene. Michael Barber versus Dim Skillies was an insane fight. People are going to see these records and say, oh, they're not that good. But it was still very fun. And Michael Barber is like, his record isn't the greatest, but beat Abdullah Bayeda, who's 9-2. He's had competitive fights with all of these guys that he's lost to. Justin Van Heerden, he had a competitive fight to. Kikembo went to a split decision with. Even though he loses, he always has a competitive fight, Very fun fighter, and Dim Skilly's a very fun fighter as well. The pocket exchanges in this fight were crazy. Michael Barber was just showing, beautiful clinch work. Dim Skillies was just pushing forward, landing big shots. It was just a back and forth war. I loved it. Toby Sung versus Jonas Grace was also an insane fight. We got a brutal KO in this fight. It was brutal KO. That was that was an insane KO. I believe the winner was Toby Zhang. I want to say his name is Zhang. He got the brutal KO over Jonas Grace, showing he's a good prospect. Matt Fordham looked really good as well. It says that he was meant to fight Kobe Porter, but no, he actually fought John Bruin, who was 8-4, and he looked very good. Very good grappling there. Got a takedown immediately. There was a lot of weird scrambles in that fight, but where it was they were stalemated for a bit, but Fordham eventually gets back on top. And there was some good fights. Declan Coricon, I want to mention this guy. This guy's beat brothers back to back. He beat Foreign Shellhammer, and he's just beat Thomas Shellhammer. I think next he'll be calling out the dad or the grandfather or the uncle. I don't know. He's just going for all the family, I wouldn't be surprised if he, calls for the fucking great-great-grandfather, to fight him, prepare for the afterlife, to fight him at this point. He's just going for a ball. It's actually insane when you think about it. Beating brothers back to back is crazy. You just have that. You have that over an entire bloodline, for God's sake. You just have bragging rights over their family. That's crazy. I think they might have another brother too, so maybe he'll try and get the whole trifecta. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. There, he's just coming for them all. I don't even think there's bad blood. He's just doing it for the love of the game. Saw his opportunity. Cody Woodlynch looked good as well. Got a brutal KO over Augusto Bernardi. That was also a fun fight. Odin Robinson was badly gassed in the third round, but he won the first 2 rounds, so he got the win. But that was a bit worrying. His cardio was bad. I think he went really hard for the finish in the second round, so that probably makes a lot of sense. But yeah, anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe, put on notifications. This is just a quick video. I just want to do a quick recap. Mostly the video was about Marwan Rahiki, but give a little breakdown of some of the other fights that they caught. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, put on notifications. I'll see you guys next time. Marwan Rahiki, get him on Dana White Contender Series Week 10, Week 9. Whatever you can do. Guy didn't really take too much damage. He fought a couple weeks ago and he came back, got another win. He's 6-0 now. Very good prospect. And he's Moroccan as well. He's actually an entertaining Moroccan featherweight, There is a Moroccan featherweight who's ranked called Yusuf Salal, but he's not the most entertaining fighter. But Marwan Rahiki is actually a very entertaining fighter, He goes for the kill, and that's very marketable. So yeah, anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Make sure you like this video, put on notifications. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Goodbye. I'll see you guys next time.